Fantastic. And as you know, Kim, this isn't just roller derby and fun and it's a fantastic spectacle. This is all volunteer league run by all volunteers here, and they still have a heart, they still care. Our charity that we're supporting this jam is the Still Brave Childhood Cancer Foundation, which was started in 2008 by Tattoo Tom Mitchell when he lost his daughter to Hodgkin's disease. So make sure you spend some time and send some support to the Still Brave Childhood Cancer Foundation.
We are back in action here. It's only about 10 seconds off the clock. Both Mary Kuda and Frightmare trying to work their way around one complete lap before a lead chamber to be assessed. It's been an awful long time since I've seen that, but Frightmare has gained a well-deserved lead chamber status.
Strong skating by two very strong skaters. Frightmare squaring off against Mary Kuda, getting the lead jammer status, and she's able to put some points on the board, and it looks like she's calling off the jam. Once again, the strategy that you talked about earlier, getting points on the board and calling it off before the opposing team can score points, that's the way to fight your way back into this.
Yeah, even if you're trailing by about 35, 40 points, anytime, especially when you've got more than, say, 7 or 8 minutes remaining, anytime you can stop the clock, score points, and leave your opponents scoreless, that's a good jam.
It's a good jam. You come away a winner when you do that.
And it's only when the clock is not in your favor that that's where you kind of have to start picking things up. And my goodness, Sharps Runner barreled her way into the pack before it even reached the pivot line. She's lead jammer for Scare Force 1.
Sharps Runner sending some skaters flying as she raced out of the pack to play lead jammer status. Let's see if she can hold that as her advantage. Big hit by Oriental Express.
Yeah, it looks like that last 4-point jam is now a wash. 4 points for Scare Force 1. Our next jam going to be brought to you by the 201 Bar. It's a modern tavern with over 50 craft bottles, 30 small batch wines, and crafted cocktails. Now that sounds like fun. That sounds like a good place to go.
That's right. Does that add up to 600 though? I'm trying to do the math in my head.
Well, you know, wine gets you drunk a lot faster. So.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You got to go by alcohol per volume. That's about 600. Next jam underway here, Baby Daddy jamming for Scare Force against Abigail Adams. Sort of playing a psychological trick there on Stabby as Baby Daddy escapes from the pack. Lead jammer for Scare Force 1. Jam got caught off there. That thing went by so quick that we didn't really have time to call any of the action. But 2 points picked up here by Scare Force 1 in that jam. That's the thing, you can see jams that'll go maybe 15, 20 seconds. The kind of training that these skaters are putting in these days is just phenomenal because you can just burst through the pack. All right, now you've already scored your points, you can get off the jam.
So much speed, so much agility and ability in their skating. They're able to quickly claim jammer status, get through the pack, put points on the board, and call it off.
Yeah. You know, it used to be if you told me that a game went more than 45 jams, I'd say shut your filthy mouth. Now it's 60 jams in a game. It's not uncommon.
But you still want them to shut their filthy mouth.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Very, very good. A lead jammer for Scare Force 1. And it looks like Jewel Hiddison is actually heading into the right IP law penalty box for a low block. Power jam in favor of Scare Force. Imagine, we've been saying it all day, power jams are what's causing this point spread.
Power jams are the story of today's jam. It's about the second half of action.
The moral of the story, stay out of the box. As Mary Kuda completes the scoring pass for 5.
Slow and steady skating today is if you can stay out of the penalty box, you have a chance to put points on the board for your team.
You know, that's one of the things about how physical this sport has gotten. It's actually a lot easier to pick up penalties, especially with the elimination of minor penalties. I mean, it's at the point now where you can't cut an opposing skater without going to the box. That's not a bad thing. It's actually, you know, you're getting a strategic advantage. You should go to the box for it.
That's right, that's right. And that sets up the strategy that these skaters skate against when they realize that they can get into the penalty box in those types of actions.
So 15 points on that jam from Marion Barracuda. It's going to make it a 51-point lead here. And our next jam is brought to you by our good friends at Fiberspace, who sponsor the Craft Jam. And Fiberspace is a yarn universe. I know so many people that knit. It's amazing. And Fiberspace is where most of them get their yarn.
That's where you get your needs. If you're into knitting or anything that uses yarn, Fiberspace is the place to go.
And we have mentioned the Right IP penalty box. They are protecting clients, technologies, and brands and commercial products worldwide. Right now, Sharp Shredder trying to protect that Scare Force 1 lead. She's lead jammer for her team. Looks like 4 points for a set there as Velocity Raptor signal 4 and she's on her way to the right edge block. We watch for a track cut.
Volume C doing innocent, making her way through the crowd trying to engage the pack again, but the jam has been called off.
3 more points added to the tally for Scare Force. Scare Force really looking good in this first half here, Magic.
Really consistent, really strong skating, keeping their jammer on the penalty box as we mentioned, and that's how it's going to get done in this jam, in this bout.
Our next jam is brought to you by Whip My Assets Blog, health and fitness, kicking and screaming. So basically it's like me. Anytime I have to go to the gym, I don't want to go! Just like that.
I think that's the effect that they're going for. So well done.
But you know, if it gets me back into the gym, clearly it's working. And hey, this is a great moment here for majority Whips fans. Frightmare escapes the pack. She's lead jammer for the girls in green. Whips fans out there got to be happy to see that.
Finally, their jammers got lead jammer status. It's an opportunity for them to claw their way back in a little bit, make a little dent in the lead that Scare Force 1 has been able to build. Big fall, big spill. Kitty St. Baines. She's up on her feet, though. She's up on her skates. She looks like she's doing all right.
Good recovery there by Kitty. You know, it's kind of hard to explain sometimes, but there are metal plates that are actually on the floor. They're part of the armory floor. And, you know, they're taped down, you got to make sure they're taped. But another thing is that there's a rope that's actually under the tape. That rope is about ½ inch, 3/4 inch thick. It's really easy to get caught on those plates and on that rope.
Well, definitely lots of hazards out here on the track. The skaters aren't just skating against each other. They're skating against the conditions on the track.
Heavy elements. Soon it will rain in here. Nasty Pelosi out there jamming against Marion Barracuda. You know, I actually have called an outdoor game before. It was weird.
I bet so, yeah, especially if it was raining.
It was about to, and I was very nervous because I don't think my gear was grounded, so I was worried about that. It's up. Speaking of grounded, Marion Barracuda is going to be grounded for a minute in the penalty box. Track cut makes it a power jam. The Pickle going completely nuts behind us.
Pickle going crazy. If you couldn't hear Pickle, Pickle was shouting power jam. He knows it when he sees it. The majority Whips now have an opportunity with their jammer skating unopposed to put some points on the board. Nancy Pelosi has her work cut out for her, though.
Yeah, the Pickle with his comically large hands waving them to and fro. He's very excited about the power jam for the majority Whips. And if you're a majority Whips fan, why don't you let us know that you're excited out there? Make some noise for the girls in green. Well, that didn't work quite the way I'm sure she wanted to. Back block penalty being assessed to Nancy Pelosi. So that is going to spring Marion Barracuda. We are going to go the full 2 minutes here, Magic.
That's right. As excited as Pickle was earlier on, Pickle is not very excited anymore. Nancy Pelosi spending some time in the right acting penalty box.
The Pickle weeping salty tears right now.
Salty, delicious tears.
But anyway, Marion Barracuda with some great struggle there, trying to get not some easy blockers to get around from Shirley Jackson, Beaver Receiver, and Jewel Hiddison. All have tied up, but they're the only blockers out on the track for the Whips.
Doing a great job. Working hard. Jewel Hiddison takes a big hit from behind. She takes a spill. A lot of skaters taking the track right now. Helena Handbag also taking a spill.
Great work there by Velocity Raptor. Gave a little bit of a push to Marion Barracuda to get her to escape the pack.
That's what we talked about before. Sometimes you can give your jammer a push that frees her, that gives her that boost that she needs to get through the pack, put some points on the board for your team.
Indeed, it looks like Adam is going up against Sharp Shredder. As they look at each other and share a chuckle. I like it when jammers tell each other jokes on the jammer line. It's like the fist bump or the occasional booty shake.
Whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears before they clobber each other out on the track.
Sounds fair. Well, you know, I really wish I was keeping track of how many times I've said this. Sharp Shredder, lead jammer, Force Air Force 1, her lead jammer percentage has got to be around 75%.
Got to be that. We'll take a look at the stats after this jam, after this bout. But she's done some strong skating all night long. Once again, showing you the strength and skill. Putting 4 more points on the board than pulling off the jam. Sharp Shredder.
What did you see from the majority whips? Not any points from us. I don't believe that they did. This is going to be Nancy Pelosi up on the line here. Going up against Panda Spanky. This jam is going to be brought to you by the Muddy Butts, your local self-serve dog wash and professional grooming salon.
Skaters are off of the NKD camera line.
Spanky is out on the airport. First time jamming for her on the day. Sometimes a little bit of tinkering with that camera rotation works out for you.
I'll tell you what, Sharp Shredder's been skating so much, but skating strong. Opportunity to give her a break. You're team up by a number of points. Here's an opportunity to test out a new jammer and see if she's got what it takes.
Massive hit by Beaver receiver tied up. Rollergirl was given a skating out of bounds penalty. You can actually not skate out of bounds and improve your position at all. If you do, you're given a skating out of bounds penalty even before you re-enter the track. So that's what happened there with Rollergirl.
Definitely. You can imagine the advantage that a skater could gain if they were to skate out of bounds, speed up and pass the other skaters and then get back in bounds.
Yeah, that would, that is advancing your position. But a lot of times, skating out of bounds penalties are unconscious. They don't mean to do it. And knowing the skater of Rollergirl's talents and abilities, I believe that would be the case here. Is the majority whips taking a team timeout. That's going to freeze the clock at 18 minutes and 7 seconds. 144 to 87 is the score.
While we have a second, let's jump into some of our sponsors. Don't forget our wonderful sponsors, Athena's Home Novelties by Aaron Barr. Athena's is one of the country's premier adult novelty party plan companies, Athena's.
And we also want to give a special love to S&A Beads, a smashing selection of beads and jewelry at S&A Beads.
Smashing.
I like saying smashing, it's a good word. It can mean so many things. You can be a smashing machine like Martin Hurd. Things can be smashing if you're, using British stereotypes. It's all good. I mean, smashing is a fantastic word.
Thanks to Abigail Adams. Those are things to think about things being smashing.
A fellow green person out there, the Incredible Hulk, who smashes. Let's see if Joey Whips can smash Scare Force in this jam. And Sharp Shredder gains lead jammer status once again for Scare Force.
Let me know when you're getting tired of saying that. I'll jump in for a little while, but you said that quite a bit tonight. Sharp Shredder, lead jammer.
Sometimes I feel like a broken record. I have a case of deja vu.
Sharp Shredder's stating this as well. You're going to be saying that a lot.
Sometimes I sound like a broken record. And maybe I'm deja vu. 4 points there by Sharp Shredder as she calls off the jam. I said that a lot too. 148 to 87 is the score. Again, the last 2 games came close, and the Whips had a huge comeback in both of those games. So, not over by a long shot. Still plenty of derby to come.
Plenty of time, plenty of derby action to be had.
This next jam is going to be brought to you by Metro Butts and Atlas Vet. Spot on training. 1 district, 3 businesses, 1 mission. Tool Hennison escapes the pack, leading jammer for the majority whips.
You can hear hear the majority whip fans yelling out a cry of relief, happy that their skater is finally the jammer. Here's a big opportunity for them to get back into this, as you mentioned.
It's a great chance here. Picks up the scoring pass for 4 points.
This gets exactly to the point that you mentioned in terms of when you're down and the clock is against you, you got to be able to put points on the board quickly, call off the jam, and set your offense up to try to put more points on the board. No use calling or wasting time trying to put points on the board if you're not going to get past the defense.
Yeah, Julius is a very smart, strong skater. Member of Team France for 2 years, for 2 World Cup times here. She's going to be a member of Team France for the 2014 World Cup as well. Baby Daddy versus Fright. They are off the MastermanLaw.com jammer line, and Baby Daddy escaped the pack, lead jammer status going to Scare Force. Baby Daddy finds the outside, picking up 4 points here. Calls off the jam. It's going to take him over 150 Magic Player. In fairness, Magic Schwanger did just eat a delicious cinnamon marshmallow from Culinary Confectionery. Might be a little tongue-tied.
I am so perplexed by how wonderful that tastes. I couldn't even say anything about the 150 points scored. That's kind of a big deal, and I couldn't say anything about it. The cinnamon marshmallows were that good.
Team timeout taken by Scare Force wants to be their first time out. As we're going to talk to you about our good friends at the Palace Productions. Quality burlesque sideshow in vaudeville throughout the Washington metro area. That's the Palace Productions. So this is going to freeze the clock 15 minutes, 15 seconds. That's 61 points separating these two teams. You know, as you mentioned, Magic, that's just a couple power jams, or even just a couple of really well-contained jams, but both teams' jammers have really shown great power and great burst coming out of the pack. It's really hard to contain them.
Most definitely. We've seen, as you mentioned, a 25-point jam. Obviously, you're not going to see that every jam. You throw a couple of those in there, particularly for the majority whips, and you've erased that lead, and it's back down to almost nothing again.
Well, I don't want to have deja vu, so you go ahead and say this here for me.
All right, in that case, I'll say it. Sharp Treader is your lead jammer.
I've said it a lot. Lead jammer for Scare Force. How to play block assist the Velocity Raptor. She is on her way to the right IP penalty box.
Not very happy about it, but she's going to spend some quality time in the right IP penalty box, along with Score Angel Express, who was sent to the penalty box.
Yeah, her co-pilot didn't look too happy about being sent there as well. 2 penalties within the space of about 5 seconds is going to give the majority whips a pretty significant pack advantage here, Magic.
Most definitely. You're going to see the track open up, less skaters on the track, more opportunities clearly for the majority whip to put points on the board with this advantage.
Our next jam is brought to you by Many Creative Gifts, and yes, that is the company's name. It's not brought to you by several creative gifts. It's Many Creative Gifts, designed to help you be thoughtful and true to your giving nature through mind, body, spirit, and crochet.
The important holy trilogy of mind, body, spirit, and crochet.
Crochet is really good. It's actually a stress reliever.
I believe it. I believe it. I'll tell you what. Frightmare causing some stress for Scare Force 1 right now. Frightmare, the majority whip, looking for an opportunity to put some points on the board for her team.
And Condoleezza Slice knocks her to the infield. Has to call off the jam. Is very, very good. Managed to sort of sneak in there and get 4 points for her team. So
This crafty skating. Frightmare sent to the ground. Would have been called for a cutting track, and she just re-engaged, had to call off the jam. And then meanwhile, Scare Force 1 able to put additional points onto the board.
well, the whips did get 3, so it wasn't a total wash, but 1 point advantage towards Scare Force here. 160 to 94 is the score. Sharp Shredder and Nancy Pelosi off the MastermanLaw.com camera line. And it looks like there's some recycling here. Some major recycling, and that, if you get knocked out of bounds, you have to re-enter behind the person that knocked you out.
box. That's been a rare sight today. Once again, a big opportunity for the majority whips to put points on the board.
So now it's up to Scare Force to play defense here, but Nasty Pelosi, a difficult skater to play defense against. Velocity Raptor just proved me wrong though. I really need to stop talking. Velocity Raptor came in like a wrecking ball, wiped out Nasty Pelosi. There's the call off. Yes, I made a Miley Cyrus reference.
We were all pretending it didn't happen, but you went ahead and pointed it out to us.
Look, that album's actually really good. I don't care who knows it. And the head announcer says he'll allow it. Thank you, Dr. Shonuff. I am vindicated.
Mr. Mystery, on the other hand, will not allow it.
Well, that's up to Mr. Mystery. I'm sorry. He's not down with the hip-popular music.
Listen to what the kids listen to these days.
That's right. I'm down with everything. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Hey there. Power Jam and Lead Jam status going to Frightmare from the majority whips. Looks like Bait and Smash are on their way. They're out of field on belly box. Shaking her head, not happy here.
Referees are cleaning house. It looks like 3 skaters went to the right IP penalty box.
That third skater is guilty to killer.
Although the advantage still goes to Scare Force 1 in terms of skaters and blockers. Velocity, Frightmare has the advantage in terms of lead jam, but she puts points on the board and then calls it off. Very good strategy, good skating for Frightmare.
9 points in that last jam for the majority whips. This time starting to not be on their side. But there is 48 points to make up. Still plenty of time to make it up.
Good 25-point jams, as we've seen earlier. It's an opportunity to put those points on the board. Following up the jam right after you score points, also another opportunity to stop the clock and get your team back into this.
So we're back to both jammers being out on the track. Baby Daddy going up against Nasty Pelosi. Pack advantage in favor of Scare Force 3-2. And Nasty Pelosi manages to gain the jammers guys on a track like a Baby Daddy. It's a power jam for the whips.
Majority whip fans out there, they're smelling the opportunity for their team to put points on the board. They've seen a 25-point jam already, and they're excited about Nasty Pelosi taking another 5 points and putting it on the board for her team. Folks, if you're a majority whip fan out there, I think it's time for you to make some noise.
Nasty Pelosi able to escape the pack here as Green Eggs and Wham heading her way into the right IP law penalty box. 10 points on this jam so far for Nasty Pelosi trying to make a penalty. Escapes on the inside line. She's done it. That is going to be another 5 points for the majority whips. Manager Clanger, if my brain falls out of my ear, I need you to pick it up for me.
That's a job I didn't sign up for, but I will do it. I might get people over here to help me out.
Jam gets called off. 3 more points for Nasty Pelosi. That is going to bring them within 30. 160 to 130. Less than 9 minutes left to go here in our game. And deja vu again. I sound like a broken record. I just did it again. What am I doing?
It's been masterful to sit here and watch you deja vu yourself time and time again.
You know, this is what happens when I take a month off from announcing. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore.
I'll tell you what, someone that doesn't know what they're doing is someone that's leaving their silent auction prize on the table right now. There's still a silent auction prize for Aurelia Bush. Aurelia Bush, come by the silent auction table. Make sure you pick up your prize. It's a wonderful prize and we want you to have it.
So Frightmare, there was a power jam when the game started. Frightmare got lead and then the power jam ended. Gets into the pack, calls it off. That's going to be 4 points for the majority whips. Looks like there was a little bit of an incident in front of us here, but that's okay. It's resolved.
Skater set flying at the very end of the action. I believe Lois Lane is pointing out that the action was already over and one of our skaters was flying. Meanwhile, our MKD Jammer Gal into the action.
Well, again, this is a battle to determine who will share first place with the DC Demoncats. The winner of this game will have a 3-1 record on the season. Loser will drop to 2-2. Both these teams want that share of first place. 10 points here is, I don't know, maybe Plastic Bertrand is inspiring Cool Innocent out there. It's a French language song. She's from France. I'm trying to put the pieces together.
I saw what you're doing there. It was good work, and I think you're right. She's cooking inspired. She's skating with a vengeance.
11 points separating these two teams right now is Cool Innocent trying to complete the pass. Scareforce swarming on her like things that swarm, I don't know. But that's going to be 5 points here. Another 5 makes it 20. We have a 6-point game. Our jammy is over. As on one skate, Cool Innocent stays in bounds, gets 3 points. We've got a 3-point game. Scareforce 160, Majority Whips 157. 5.5 minutes left to go here.
I don't want to make you repeat yourself here, but didn't you say the last couple of bouts were decided by 15 points or less? Here we are, 3 points away.
The Majority Whips and the Cardiac Kids of DC, I was here at the time when they played the DC Demoncats, and there was like a 12-10 jam in the last jam, and they won by 1 point over the Demoncats. It was crazy.
There's an opportunity to see some possible track-on-track action. You got both jammers, jammer-on-jammer action going up against one another. Slick moves right there against Sharp Shredder. You've seen these two square off against one another. You're seeing this action again.
Great maneuvering there by both Frightmare and Sharp Shredder. For those of you wondering, why didn't Sharp Shredder maybe just fall off the jam? She's blending time off the clock, and also they're both trying to kind of wear each other out there as well.
Yes.
So that was some great work there by both jammers. Sharp Shredder to contain Frightmare, which is not easy, and Frightmare to stay in there and kind of burst it ahead twice, in fact.
Not easy at all. Sharp Shredder keeping control of Frightmare. One-on-one, that's a very tough matchup, but I'll tell you what, Frightmare loves those situations. She loves the challenges. She's going to step up to it. It's going to be really hard to wear her out.
So we're going to take a team timeout here. Scareforce taking their second timeout. It's going to freeze the clock at 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Again, it's a 3-point game. And folks, if you're liking what you're seeing here, come back in 2 weeks right here at the DC Armory. It's going to be more DC Rollergirls action here February 1st. Doors at 3. First game is at 4. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to come back. This action has been incredible today.
Don't forget, bring your sweetheart out as an early Valentine's Day treat. That'll get them excited about roller derby, get them ready for Valentine's Day. There's plenty of action to be had right now on the track. Forget about Valentine's Day. That's the next time around.
So we're waiting for the team timeout to lapse. As the skaters are ready to go there, team timeout lapses and everybody jumps off the line. So the next whistle will start the jam here.
Skaters are clearly getting caught up in the excitement as well, as are the fans. Why not? It's a 3-point game. It's anybody's match right now. Skaters tumbling everywhere. Nasty Pelosi takes his fill.
Nasty Pelosi, lead jammer for the Majority Whips. Took a stumble, fell in bounds, great recovery.
I believe both teams are at full strength.
Nasty Pelosi gets wiped out in the back, calls off the jam. 2 points picked up by the Whips. It is a 1-point game. Scareforce 160, Majority Whips 159. 3.5 minutes left to go in our game.
Tell you what, it couldn't get any closer, obviously.
But good. We got to tie again.
I was setting you up for that one. Deja vu all over again.
But we're going to have a official timeout. All the official series has been so far. I mean, there was about a 2-point difference about 15 minutes ago. Force had. And the WHIPS have clawed their way back in. This is the norm for the WHIPS. They always do this.
Yes, man, they're like cardiac kids. They'll leave you thinking that they're down and out, that it's over. These kids claw their way back in. Sometimes come up and win. They've fallen short a couple of times, but here we're going to have to see how this ends. Getting very close to the end of this.
And you know, again, this score is relatively high. I mean, it's a combined 319 points. But the blockers have really been doing all they can. It's power jams that make the big difference in these games.
Power jams and some really strong skating, as you've seen already.
All right, so we're about to find out what the result of the official timeout was. Was challenging that a majority whip skater landed out of bounds and recovered and cut the track. That did not happen, call stands. And Sharp Shredder trying to make things a little bit more comfortable for Scare Force lead jammer. Nice little twirl there by Sharp Shredder, 5 points. Scare Force 1. Now that's been one of the hallmarks ever since the first season, Magic. Scare Force finding ways to win, and they hold on. I mean, they've snatched victory from the jaws of defeat more times than we can count.
They're another cardiac kids. They're able to stay strong and clutch on and hold on to those victories, roll them out of those jaws of defeat, as you said.
Shredder calls off the jam after completing another 4-point pass. 14 points on the jam. It's going to make it 15 points of difference. And again, I'm going to hammer in this nail until I can't hammer it anymore. The last 2 games between these 2 teams was settled by a point differential of 15 points or less.
Definitely looks like we're heading for that as well tonight. Seeing a little bit of a equipment change right here. One strategy that you may or may not have seen was the teams trading off helmet panties to skaters there as they switch jammers mid-jam. No need for Scare Force 1 to do that right now because very, very good is your lead jammer.
The main reason why there was the equipment switch there is to make sure that the WHIPS wanted to deal the pivot. If you don't have a pivot, there's nobody that can pass the helmet cover to if your jammer gets cracked. So you want a pivot out there. So we have about a 6-second discrepancy between pivot clock and jammer clock. Lead jammer status is in favor of Scare Force at the moment. Very good to complete the scoring pass for 5 points. Gained that jammer lap point while Livingston was in the back. Cool Livingston hops the apex. And it looks like Scare Force is going to play hard and fast with the game clock here, Magic.
They're in control. They have an opportunity to run the game clock down to almost nothing instead of calling off the jam. I think they're going to try to bleed the clock a little bit more. Good strategy.
20 points separating these 2 teams here. Very, very good. Looking to try and expand that lead. That's going to be another 5 points for Scare Force 1.